Could have some music. It's the two Ronnies, is it?
D&D.
So you're setting up your meeting. Done. Redirecting to YouTube. Turn that volume down. Oh, the music's already going. Music. We're already live. It's going to shut us up now.
There you go. I can
The two
I can
Ronnies.
see us.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look. Well, hello everyone that might be just started to watch this, because I know you're going to see it a few seconds after us. I'm going to put a link in the chat room. And if you want to join us in a Zoom meeting live, you're more than welcome. It is going live. So we are live because we're live. You can see this. We can see you. Oh, we can't see you. That's right. There's laws against that sort of thing. Dave, introduce yourself, because I've forgotten how to pronounce your last name already.
Dave Montgomery from Western Sydney in Australia, 51
Sorry?
years young. Dave Montgomery from Western Sydney in Australia,
Already
51 years young. 51 years young, married with 3 kids.
Wow, how about that? And I'm 52. If we're going to do the age thing, you're going blurry every now and again. You'll just have to put up with Dave. He's just
Yeah, sorry about that.
all right. It's trying to focus on him. It's too much to focus on. The camera keeps going wild. So what we're trying to do here, kids, is we're trying to work out the mentality of people, and we're trying to be psychiatrists. Now, both of us have studied at university for about 10 minutes. Actually, I lie. I have been to university. I actually used to paint. I painted the university roof once. So I can technically say I've been to university.
I go to the university gym down the road. So there you go.
So we're becoming psychologists. Now, we did have a bit of a meander.
Hey Siri, I lie. I have been.
What's that noise? Is that you or me?
For some reason, Siri's just bloody switched on.
Oh, hey Siri.
Hey Siri, get lost.
Hey Alexa.
I didn't even press anything.
Oh no, I'm getting the same problem down here now. Anyway, so we had a bit of a chat, and we thought that we're trying to figure out why people like being part of Ponzi schemes. We're not going to tell you anything about Ponzi schemes and how bad they are, because theoretically you're subscribed to my YouTube channel because you already know that. Then we're trying to look for the goodness in being involved in a Ponzi scheme. Why do people like being involved in them? Have you got any ideas yourself there, Dave?
So I think it's a sense of connection, community that people feel as though that either they can learn something or they feel valuable because they share information, and people are hanging off every word that they share. And people just want to be around other people, and you feel important, or you feel or you're looking up to someone important that you strive to be like that person blindingly, unfortunately.
Actually, what you just said just hit the nail on the head there for a second, and then it went in my head and out the window, because I was looking at that blurry Dave. I think that's starting to annoy me already. We're going to fix that.
Sorry, it'll be fixed for next week.
They like to. I think people like to be part of a community. I think that's what I got from what you just mentioned. So they like to have a sense of involvement, and I think these communities do that to either string you along. So when we had a bit of chat earlier on, I said to Dave, I did an interview about this guy called Mike Lucas, and he used to tune into the community training of Hyperverse every week. And he used to listen to those meetings, and to a certain degree, I'm sure he enjoyed being part of the community. But when it come to asking that loving, caring, wonderful community to give his $25,000 back, that's where the community drew the line and said, "You're on your own. We don't care about you anymore, mate." So I'm just wondering if that's, of anyone else. So I've done a few of these, what we call think tank meetings before, Dave, and I've got 4 topics that work really well. Yep. So first topic, if we're talking about communities, what's your experience about being part of a community? Have you been part of any community?
So there's, I've been part of the community to help me work through challenges in life, whether it be sobriety, with addictions, with weight loss, with working through problems, and I found that that's helped me get through some of those issues. And being part of a community, you find like you feel as though that you're not alone. You feel as though that your problems maybe aren't as bad as what you bottled them up to be. And so I really, and if you're part of a community and you share some actions as to what you're about to do, that then makes it a bit more real.
I'm going to ask the question again.
Yeah.
Have you been part? What's your experience of being part of? Oh no, I didn't. I think no. Have you been part of any communities?
Yes, I have.
Right, and what are they?
What are they specifically?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you. Yeah. I was, as I said earlier, I was part of the. Yeah. I was a Jehovah's Witness, so I was brought up in a religious community.
Yeah.
And I certainly did feel like I at the time had a real sense of community. I did. I felt like I was part of a community and I had an influence. So have you got anything like that? Like you?
Nothing church related, but I've been part of communities as my kids have grown up, being like part of the parents' networks, either sports that I was involved in or sports that my kids were involved in, and then whether it be some professional communities where you've done business networking, or you've or you've then led yourself down some personal development. And I've been part of communities in with that, and a lot of them have actually been very good. And so it's only the odd one where I've had a community where it really hasn't gone in a positive way.
You're going to sit a wee bit close to your camera. I think that's going to help that blurriness.
Sorry.
Put your face right in there, mate. You'll be fine. Okay, that's it. Now we're looking good. It's that camera, man. I'm gonna rip it off your computer.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, but I think I'm not. It hasn't really even helped. It's just continuously focusing. Can you click on the sucker and see if it's got any?
Let me fix it. I'll fix it and I'll go to the other camera. Yeah. I'll get my tripod.
Because what I was going to talk about, it's actually with my notes here. It's got people's experience of being part of community. And we used to actually be, I used to run a few social groups, and I used to watch newbies come along, and they'd come along and either get freaked out and we'd never see them again, or they'd come 1, 2, 3, 4 times. But by the time they come about 4 or 5 times, they were completely different. They were more relaxed. So a lot of the people that used to come along to my social groups were actually there because they were hoping to meet somebody and maybe a partner or some new friend in their life. So, what I found from my experience was that they needed to persevere, and it took a while before they felt like they were part of a community. If you know what I mean, there you go. Now, we've lost you, haven't we? I've been talking to myself. You can do it. I just realised there's a button here.
Sorry, Danny, I'm back. I just went and got my tripod.
Okay.
I didn't hear any weird noises.
I was talking about you, mate.
Yeah, all right.
Stream on YouTube. Oh, you can do that. Hey, there's a button on. Now there's just me. It looks like it's just me on here, but it's not everyone. Dave is in the background. Dave has actually got the most modern technology out there. He is using his phone. Look at that. Hey, look at that. That's cool. All right, it's good.
I can even go landscape if you want me.
Yeah, go landscape. See what happens.
Right.
That's better.
There we go.
That's cool. We don't need to share screens. We're going to get better at this because this is episode number 2.
2.
Yeah, we're up to 2. And what we're looking to do is to build some form of community ourselves.
Yep.
And we would like to sort of, help people. So, so generally speaking, Dave, your experience being part of community, has it been good or bad?
It has been good.
Yep. And even myself, even though the religious thing, we shouldn't keep going down that track. I've got therapy. I'm fine. It was a nice experience because the best part about growing up in the Jehovah's Witness thing for me was the brotherhood, as they called it, or being part of a community that really did care about each other. And that was but I was talking to, I was actually talking to the reporter from the New York Times, and he was trying to distinguish, the difference between religion and Ponzi schemes. And I think it was the sense that there was people in it that were in it for two reasons: people that believed in the Bible, and then there was people in there that believed the blockchain, and they believed the ecosystem, and they believed all the technology behind it. And then there was other people that were in there because they just liked being part of a community. And it was the same with the religion. There was a lot of people that were just loved being part of the community, didn't really care about the beliefs or the Bible or the crypto, if you want to do the parallel. And I thought that was quite interesting. So, especially when now lots of the other technical stuff has fallen over, all the money's gone, but the community still exists.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go to another wee topic within the community. What is the problems of being part of a community?
I think when you initially join it, it's almost as though that when you join a community such as like a sporting group or something, with kids that are all a certain age, like if you're the parent, you've got then everyone is, I guess, going on the same journey. Whereas sometimes if you're joining a community where there's people that are experienced, there's people that are new, there's people that are maybe disgruntled, then sort of it can really, you can feel sometimes intimidated. You can sometimes feel as though, I don't connect because I'm at a different stage to these other people, but it may just be at like that week, there may have just been experienced people and there weren't new people. So it's almost as though that, it's a sort of, so yeah, I just see that there's, when you come in as a new person, you either come in with all new people or you're coming in maybe in a different mix, and that can affect how you feel connected with those people.
I just thought of another community I used to be part of, and that was Toastmasters.
Yes.
And Toastmasters is an organisation that basically helps you become a better, more competent speaker.
Yeah.
And I went there because somebody said, you get to, first of all, I thought Toastmasters was somewhere where you went and ate toast, okay? But it's actually somewhere where you could learn how to do public speaking and put together a 7-minute talk and then present that to an audience, and they'd give you some feedback on how you did. So you'd get half the audience would go along because they wanted to do a presentation. But then once you got involved in the club, then the club used to say, would you like to become an evaluator, or would you like to do the meet and greeting, or would you like to come to the
timekeeping, or
and on Tuesday night we're doing a leadership meeting about the club, and then next minute you're actually involved in the leadership of the club. And then I'm involved in 3 clubs, and I'm the president of 2 clubs, and I'm now overwhelmed with responsibilities, and newbies are asking me all these questions. I think, how did I get wrangled into this? So that was the other side of it. So I suppose it comes down to, problem is that you can get overwhelmed with commitments. So like, what did you have to have any responsibilities when you're in the sports with the school club? Asked you to do things?
Yeah, it was much like what you're talking about, that like the longer you're there, or as people start to drop off, either for you, because you then start to feel as though, hey, there's some value in this, and you know that, all right, well, hey, geez, if we all don't start to put a bit more effort in, it's not going to keep on going. And so you then end up stepping up to the plate, like what you were talking about with Toastmasters.
Yeah, I did that to a lot actually, because I used to run my own social club, and then I used to help provide transport, organise the events, promote the events, and then people would come along and you'd say, look, we're going for a 2-hour drive, it's going to cost $70 petrol, $10 each, and you think, oh yeah, that's great. And then people would say, I don't have $10. Can I fix you up next time? And then the same people every time would do the same. And it used to, all the effort, energy you go into it. And you'd have that one person that never had $10 on them for petrol when you just took them out,
Yeah.
it's sort of yeah. I think there's a certain type of person that can be a community leader.
Hmm.
You know, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I seem to find myself doing those roles. So the parallel really is, why do people want to be part of a community that's promoting a Ponzi scheme or scams, or do they turn a blind eye to things once they're part of the community because the community outweighs
That's right.
everyone's common sense?
Yeah. And it's almost as though that they blindly see that if it's working for this other person, it should work for me. But the problem is that some of these people that they necessarily not telling you, like they're telling you the version of what's happening that's convenient for them. They're obviously not telling you all the good and bad things.
Do you think they're blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like your Jehovah's Witness thing, is that the person inside the Jehovah's Witness community obviously sees things a certain way compared to other people that aren't part of that community.
Yeah.
And I guess until you're deeply into it, you don't see it that way. So, but it's and I guess once you're inside the group, it's almost as though that, well, hey, as long as if David is truly serious about this and he follows step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, he'll start to believe in these things. So it's almost as though they would want to see you make that progress and take on board responsibilities and show up every week. And I guess if you start to do that, then they bank on the fact, well, these Ponzi schemes bank on the fact, well, hey, David's going to start putting his hand in his pockets and either rebuying or buying the NFT, buying the next product, and then keeping up with everyone else in the community.
So they bank on that, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just follow the leader, and the Pied Piper comes along, and everyone goes, just follow him no matter what. He knows what he's doing, but no one looks around, or no one stops to ask, what are we doing in the middle of this paddock, and why are we walking towards a cliff? You know, it's like, there's something not right here.
And as soon as when you're in these communities, when you then see other people ask questions or other people not get reprimanded, but they're treated in a certain way, it then makes you apprehensive to ask questions or do things, because you don't want to feel as though that you're leopard, or you always want to fit in. And and it then almost as though that as soon as you then start to see the writing on the wall, you then cut off from these things, and these people that you're in this community with, you think that you're friends with them or you've built this connection, but really as soon as you stop believing in or stop investing or doing whatever with that group, well, they go on their way and then you end up going on your way. Whereas, and I think, like, I've got 1 or 2 friends that I've connected with that are like outside, like that I've stayed in contact with outside of these things. But a lot of people, well, then you find out what you're really there for.
Yeah. And I think if you aren't on the same page as some of these other people, then they kind of feel that you're questioning their belief or their thought, and then all of a sudden the wall comes down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Prison. Yeah, that's cool. All right. So what about so what's when you were trying to get your camera going, I was sort of suggesting to people that sometimes it takes a wee while before you become part of community. You might rock on up at let's use a book reading club, for example, and you go along, and the very first event you're nervous, everything that comes out your mouth is wrong, and you feel like you're embarrassed to speak. And then you go along for the second week, and you might have formed a friendship with one person, and so you zone in on that one person and start chatting to them intensely, and then somebody else introduced, and eventually, it might take 3, 4, 5 times before you actually feel like you're part of the community. And I remember when I used to be part of a shared office space, a co-working space, and your first time on the working there for a couple of days, you're too scared to speak to everyone. You listen to a few other conversations in the background, and then a few weeks later, you feel like you own the place. And it just takes a while to get comfortable in those communities until you make them your own, I suppose. Hmm. So, what solutions if people are in the wrong communities? Like a lot of these people in these Ponzi communities are literally, in my eyes, doing the wrong. It's like being part of a whole lot of gangsters or people that might not be doing good things in the community, and then they don't know how to leave the community, or they're lonely. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why people need these communities in their life.
And I think you've then got to like look to see that like any time in your life when you like let something dominate too much of your world, then like you more or less need to continue to check in with yourself to make sure, hey, look, I'm not letting this sort of take up too much of my time, and hey, I am seeking the opinion of other people outside of this. And so it's almost as though you need to keep on doing that, and then you need to, when you're not doing it, you need to highlight it, and you need to go to other people outside of that community to see, well, hey, do you think this is right?
Yeah.
But that can alienate you, or it can say, oh no, well, this sounds okay, and then you follow the group. But
That's
it is
brilliant.
hard.
Well, that's a brilliant analogy because I've got a very good example of exactly that. Because when I when I were in Toastmasters, I used to tell everyone how wonderful it was, and I used to be a real ambassador for them. And I was the president of two clubs, and I was going to a Friday morning one, a lunchtime one, and a evening one on a Tuesday. And then one day I decided I'm overcommitted, so I stopped one of the meetings, and within 2 weeks I had left Toastmasters. I'd burnt out, I hit the wall, I was overcommitted, and a mate of mine, a real good friend of mine, he was basically second in New Zealand for running. He was in charge of the South Island for Toastmasters, and every time I met with him, I said, "Look, you got to stop going, mate. You've got to let go because it's dominating your
Yeah,
life every
yeah,
time
that's
you open
right.
your mouth."
Yeah,
And I didn't realize it until so I was in it for 5 years, and within a 2 week period, I've never been back.
gone.
Yeah. But it was a good thing at the time, and it was a good thing to leave it. I left at the
But
right
I
time before
think
it
you
got
may
hate.
have taken some either framework or structures or things that you actually did well in that group to other things you've been part of.
Yeah.
So,
Everything.
so, so to, yeah,
Mm. Yeah. Well, ironically, if I'm part of another speaking organisation, and they normally it meets once a month, and they normally give you speaking roles, and I can take a 15-minute, you know, session. I'll just put my hand up for anything, and I don't, and that's what I learned from Toastmasters is the fact that I'm not nervous about. I can put together a 15-minute
yeah,
speech in my head over a week
yeah,
without using notes.
yeah,
And it come down to structure. Even like our meeting now, we've
yeah,
got a little bit of a structure
yeah.
that sort of helps us stay on target.
But it's a very good icebreaker when you do stuff like that. It's I know when we spoke last week, you spoke about like the questions, like questions about like whatever, and then questions personal. But it draws stuff out of people, and I think initially they can be very apprehensive, but as soon as you step up to the plate and do that, that actually builds the community and it builds your connection because you then experience that as a group member, and then you look forward to other people going through that, and
Yeah.
then you maybe then sort of you go through the different levels. But yeah,
I left you behind.
you're a
Okay.
bit blurry then.
I'm going to ask you a random question.
Yes.
Okay. If you were to tell one person, thank you for helping me become the person I am today, who would it be? And look,
Oh, it's on the back of your business card.
yeah.
If I could tell one person thank you, um, it would be my well, are they allowed to be past or do they have to be here?
Well, from my opinion, it's not going to be Jesus Christ, but
All
could
right,
it,
so
could it be?
the person's got to be here. I would actually say my my son, that I would because I don't think like you express gratitude or like you share enough things sometimes with your kids about sort of who they are to you or what they do, because kids tend to think that you do everything for them, whereas they actually help you do a lot of things. And
Yeah.
I think I've got 3 kids, and I've said it to one of my kids about how, as an adult, you start to like see the world through their eyes, and you re-experience different things. And yeah, I haven't ever said to my son about like how he helps, how he has helped me with his love of Star Wars and Lego and different things. That's helped me reconnect and sort of me have other hobbies. And I get a real kick out of how passionate about he is about some of these things that we've got common interests. And I never purposely introduced him to those things. He just found it of his own accord. And but yeah, I would say my son.
Yeah,
And
cool.
because he's never, as a parent, like you never really, on those individual occasions where you do tend to have real discussions with them, like not as a parent, as a person, as to what they're doing for you. You remember when you've had those connections with like my grandparents or my parents, but you forget to try and do that with your own kids.
Only thing I can liken that to, mate, is probably my dog. I lost my dog, and then we stopped going for walks. And then we thought, because the dog gives you a reason to get out.
That's right.
They give you a reason to, if you get out of bed in the morning when you don't want to, because the dog wants to go out for a wee with me. It's like, but not saying
it's actually doing you a favour.
Yeah.
And so what, you haven't lost Pixel, have you?
No, not yet. No. He's hurt his.
Okay.
I was an irresponsible pet owner the other day. We left him in the car unattended for literally 45 minutes. And when we come back, he's limped, so he must have got his foot caught in a door, so he's limping around at the moment. But anyway.
Well, maybe you've got to buy a pram from Facebook Marketplace. And you because I'm sure Pixel's still like actually getting outside, and we've got a little Pomeranian that I showed you last week.
You're going to show me a pram, aren't
you? No. Well, I could, but that's in stacked up part of the garage. But we actually push our little dog in the pram down the street because she can't walk very far, but she still likes getting out of the house.
Yeah, that's great. I always wonder who those people who are walking down the road with a pram and the dog. It's a great idea. I have seen the ones with the wheels on the back of the dog, and they strap. I've seen that before.
Oh yeah.
Because we used to have German Shepherds, you see, and they had bad back legs, and it's like we were actually thinking about there must be a way to give the dog a walk and not use his back legs so much.
Sorry, Danny, can you pull a card for you and ask yourself a question?
Oh, I can, but I'm not allowed to look at it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. It's just so you know I'm not lying. Oops, camera. What would the perfect day look like for you?
Oh, there you go.
Perfect day for me, seriously, would be a day where I didn't stress about money. Yeah, because I'm always thinking about money, having enough to meet ends, And I used to have days like that. And I have to keep thinking back when money wasn't a problem. It's certainly different, like I'm still struggling to get myself back on the feet after COVID and all that sort of stuff. But it's certainly a day where I didn't stress about money. And I think stress is a killer. So it freaks me out. And over the years, I've had high cholesterol. And first time I stopped drinking, I went and got a test. And my cholesterol went up. And I went, oh, my God. And now I've got my cholesterol not too bad. But I've always thought, I know what it is. It's freaking stress.
Yeah. And so, Danny, have you, like someone introduced it to me, and I do it sometimes, but it's only when I'm in communities that actually encourage it.
Yep.
But have you ever looked at doing breath work? Because breath work can actually help you, like either with your anxiety, or it can help you start a day or finish a day, or it can help you clear your mind of some of these things.
Yeah. Is it Bedeco? There's
Andy, I can't remember his name. Will Hoff.
No, there's another one. There's the Bedeco breathing technique.
Yeah.
Because I used to have a business networking company, there was one of those instructors who come along.
They were part of it.
And he said to me, so he's having a group on another community. So he'd
Yeah.
go to this group of about 10 people in it, and we'd all sit around the room trying to hold our breaths. And then he would teach us breathing techniques. I started off being able to hold my breath for a minute. And there was one guy there who could hold his breath for 18 seconds, and that was it. He finished up holding his breath, I think, for 2.5 minutes. Yeah, and it was just using breathing techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, when I've done it as part of some of these other personal development group communities I've been part of, it's quite grounding. It brings everyone together, and like it helps you then reset, and it helps you then clear your head. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think what you're then sharing about your ideal part of the day, obviously, that's then sort of your answer is then saying about your level of anxiety about that, and it's potentially as we get older and like the tough economy times that we're in at the moment, it's not potentially something that's going to change. So it's almost as though then how can you, like, I'm not trying to solve your problem, but it's like how can you then sort of obviously get past it, but yeah.
Well, what I was thinking of doing is actually there's this new Ponzi scheme out, mate. Put $100 down, yeah, and they reckon they're going to give me 3 times the investment in 15 minutes.
I'm sure they've got an NFT that might make you feel better as well.
Yeah, I remember actually working for the richest lady in New Zealand, right? And the Todd family, and they were loaded. And when I was a painter and a decorator, we painted their house and was there for 3 months. And I remember every lunchtime we'd sit there, we'd sit outside with her and talk. And then we got to know her really well. We built up a relationship with her, and she was a real cool lady. And she was just in tears because she had no one to talk to. And her husband had cancer at the time. And I remember thinking this lady's got more money than anyone else in New Zealand. And she's got no one to talk to. And I keep thinking back to that time, thinking, is money the solution to those problems? Is it the key to happiness?
Yeah.
And this lady used to walk around the house with no shoes on. They had a beautiful garden that she'd transplanted the trees in the garden 3 times because she didn't like the land. And you'd never know, they had big cranes come in. And then one day we painted the roof of her house. And I remember we had a fantastic relationship with her. And she said that we drink the rainwater. We don't like water out of the reservoir, even though we've got the best in the world theoretically. And she said, so make sure the paint that you use is, the best paint because we don't want to be poisoned. So go to the paint shop, read the label on the back of the tin, and it says, fine for, ask all the professional people, is this paint safe? So we literally brushed this lady's roof with a big brush. Only we used brooms. We didn't spray it. Best job ever. And I remember putting the last coat of paint on the roof, and I'm reading the back of the label. And it said that if you drink the water from the roof, you must disconnect the pipes for 8 weeks. And I remember going in and telling her this thing, that we have to disconnect the pipes because the paint will toxinate the water.
Yeah, for the next 8 weeks.
I remember her husband that was in very bad health ripping the shit out of us. And they basically said that if you ever, they took it personally. They said, if you ever cross us again, you will never do this, you will never do that. And just gave us, I thought, wow, man, nice people, 3 months of nice people they're going to make our lives hell because I didn't quite get something right. Yeah. But yeah, they were wealthy people.
Yeah.
I was a humble painter earning $20 an hour at the time. Yeah. All right, mate. All right, so we're just about done for time. I think we've done pretty cool. So
what else did you have on the structure that you had for today's session? It was experiences. What was the other part?
Experiences. So let's think. The topic was community.
Yep.
So we talked about our experiences, and then we talked about some problems about being part of a community.
Yeah.
Some solutions. That's something we haven't discussed.
Yeah.
So
on solutions, Well, it's maybe part of like solutions as to whether the community that, like, I'm part of a couple of different communities, both family, personal development, fitness, and then just some mental stuff and some friends.
Yep.
And I find that I share with my wife sort of what I do and sort of communicate different things. So it's almost as though that to then see whether these communities are worth my time, I check in with my wife and I review with her every couple of weeks or every couple of months, and then see, because of how pressed I am and how many things that I've got to do. So I guess I use that to sort of balance and sort of problem solve to see, well, hey, should I continue to do this? Because at the time you feel a sense of loyalty. You feel as though that, hey, well, I've put all this time in, I should keep on going. But yeah, I think it's important that you've got to seek that sort of, you've maybe got to externalize that with someone else.
I think that's a fantastic thing what you just mentioned. Jason's a friend of mine that's just popped into the Zoom meeting here, in case you wonder what that BP was. You're more than welcome to join in, Jason. But get it from somebody else's perspective is what I'm hearing. So rather than making your own informed decision, you could always ask for a third party to sort of say, hey, look, I'm spending 20 hours of my week in this community.
Yeah.
Is it healthy? And see what, they come up with perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what are we going to see? Howdy, Jason. G'day, mate. Solution, what was I thinking of when you were saying that was, how do you find a good community to be part of? Like what is a good community to be part of? Is it not dominating? I think what I said earlier on is if a community dominates
too much of your time. Yeah.
Is it healthy or is it not? I mean, it's all right. Like, I know a friend of mine who does ultra running. What are they called? The 100K runs?
Ultra trails or ultra marathon type thing.
He's absolutely incredible, and he's single. And a friend of mine sort of shined a liking to him, and he said, "Oh, but he's always out running." And I said, "I used to always be out target shooting."
Yeah.
And I said, "But I didn't have anyone else to share my life with at the time."
Yeah.
But now I don't even target shooting. I don't even have a firearms license anymore. And
I'm sure that if he was then part of a cigar club, then people might say, "Oh, yeah, well, hey, cigars maybe aren't healthy or whatever." But like running, it's almost as okay, well, is it something that can better you and something that there's not too many negatives associated with that.
No. And I think people, their biggest fear is he's going to carry on running and never have any time for a relationship. And I'll go, oh, no, he's probably doing that to fill in time until he, gets himself, rather than sitting at home twiddling his thumbs,
That's right. Or he'll find a runner or God knows.
Hey, we actually had a statement from Jason. I'm just going to read it.
Well, I personally think it's Keith Williams that is the source of your stress because of his endless, pointless rants at the beginning of each of his leadership roles.
Well done with that computer. Very good. I'm married and my wife is an ultra runner. There you go. Well, that's pretty cool. So, we had that conversation. Where did we have that conversation? Jason. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I had that conversation. I'm getting you mixed up with another Jason. So that's quite cool. Yeah. All right. Now, you have to go in 2 minutes, don't you?
Yeah. No, I'm okay. It's all
right.
I can go a little bit longer. And so we've gone over the experiences. We've gone over the problems. We've gone over with the solutions. Yep. What was the other part to the structure, our agenda?
Well, takeaways really, and next week's topic.
There you go.
Because next week's topics normally is where did this conversation keep going, and we try and stop that getting off topic. And then that normally is a good one to pick, topic for next week, and also it gives people an expectation to turn up next week if they like our chat.
So I, for what we've done today, I think like asking, maybe it's questions that. I think that sort of a random question, whether you've got your business cards, we can go through those.
Yep.
And if and I guess the other part to community, sort of the next part of these Ponzi schemes and these scams, it's like how. Sorry, go on.
I just had a thought. The reason people join these communities is they're looking for people that have a common interest.
Yeah.
With the Ponzi schemes, they deliver these Ponzi schemes because they're trying to sell passive incomes.
Yeah.
So with your communities that you used to be part of with your children, the common interest was your children.
Yeah.
You know, with the Jehovah's Witness thing, it was probably the belief of God in a future and a purpose. So maybe we need to look at these communities as what common interests
Okay. Yeah.
if we want to build a community, and Jason's in here at the moment, what are we, there he is, boom, what are we trying to accomplish? G'day, mate. Like, what's our common interest?
Hey, Jason.
We love the internet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nice to see you here, mate. Thanks for popping in. That's 3. Last week we were just saying that's 2. Yeah.
Introduce yourself, Jason.
Should we ask him?
Jason.
Should we ask him a random question?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. There you go. There he is.
How would your friends describe you, Jason?
Oh, God. I don't know. Probably slightly nerdy, funny. Yeah, just a really sarcastic sort of sense of humour. So you're pre-warned.
Is it dry, witty like John Cleese, or I got called Granville. No, was it Granville? Oh no, what's the other, Mr. Bean?
Hey, Jason, can I ask you? Do you watch The Office, either the American version or the English version?
I've watched bits of it. Yeah, I haven't like watched the entire series. I've watched an episode or two here.
If you had to say a character in either the American version or the English version, which character would you associate yourself with?
I don't know the characters well enough. I don't think.
Okay, sorry.
I don't think I'm a David Brent. No, that's for sure.
Are you a Dwight?
I don't think I'm. I don't think I'm. The Ricky Gervais character.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I've got another one. What's your favorite? Well, what's your favorite? What are you watching on Netflix at the moment? Like, what's your favorite? Because
been jumping around, but on Netflix. Well, we've actually been watching a little bit more on sort of like Amazon Prime and Disney recently. So watching Mandalorian on Netflix. I have to check.
Ironically, before you answer that, I was watching one of the leadership meetings today in the back end of the hyper community, which I have full access to, by the way. And they were doing a leadership talk on the Lion King, and they're doing a parallel with the Lion King movie and the Ponzi schemes. It was ridiculous. I'm about to upload it to one of the channels, but I thought they've just put a bad smoke screen over my version of the Lion King.
And which was Keith Williams? Was he Simba, or was he the? I can't remember the baddie in the movie.
He's on holiday. That's even made it worse. He's away.
Really?
Yeah, so he wasn't even in it this week for the first time. But I just had to throw that in there. But I want to put it on Odyssey because I can't put it on my YouTube channel at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, enough questions. Why did you join us, Jason? What empowered you to come into this meeting, and how can we lever this to other people?
Well, it's your very addictive personality, Danny, and your hilarious YouTube video. Well, we've been speaking for a while, haven't we? So, yes. I mean, you just popped up in my feed while I was having breakfast. I thought, I'll pop in.
Sorry.
It's always fun, but it's also, getting involved in a conversation that is ultimately damaging a lot of people, right? Mm. It's absolutely shocking, and it's with cost of living going up and inflation, all of the rest of it. Unfortunately, Ponzi schemes will become more and more attractive to people because they're desperate. They're even more desperate now to make money than they were before this whole situation. And it's horrendous. And Danny, you're doing amazing work. How you have the time and patience to put these videos together is quite astonishing.
Hidden, mate.
Pardon?
It does my head in. It's hard. It's
yeah.
hard mentally.
And Jason, have you ever been scammed, or have you ever been sort of tricked into being part of a Ponzi scheme or spending time in one? Or
only I had a very close skirmish about, I don't know, 17 years ago or something like that, and it was a good learning lesson. And the interesting thing about that one was it was sort of brand new, and they were trying to effectively it looked like, you know, one of those cash gifting type schemes. You got a circle and it gets bigger and bigger and whatever. But effectively what it was saying, we give, you know, when you pay in to the thing, we effectively make money. The money that is all the excess money is used to pay for local charity, local charities and getting things like that. And it sounded really great. And then you realize this, but so as soon as you feel your initial level, you go up to the next level, but you can't go up to firstly, you must go up to the next level. You don't have a choice. And to go up to the next level, you have to pay an X amount of money. And so anyway, but you get all of this money back. And so he initially went into it, and the only saving grace was, and probably their mistake was, is like, we don't want to get any negative publicity. So the moment if you feel like, within the first week or whatever, first few days, this isn't for you, just let us know and we'll refund your money straight away, right? Because they obviously wanted, I guess they were just growing it at the time, and they gave us our money. It was, when we thought about it over the weekend, we thought, wait a minute, if we're giving money to charity, why don't we just give the money to charity?
Yeah, not through them.
Why? Because effectively what it looked like, what it ended up being, was probably only 20% of my money went to the charity, because they had to pay all the people, all the downline, all of this, that, and the other. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So Monday morning we said, yeah, we'd like our money back, and they sent it back to us straight away. It was only wasn't very much money, right? It was only 100, 200,
was it
whatever it was.
Friends or family that introduced you to that, or how did that affect the people that introduced you to it?
How did you build trust in it?
Yeah, I mean, it was from people that we knew in a circle that we were quite, personal development type circle that we were quite involved in at the time, and that made us a lot more wary. And the bottom line, what we learned from that, what I learned from that, is that whenever you hear about all of the, anything that it says, like anyone says, any kind of guarantee of a return or you make money, the first question actually you want to ask is, tell me about the product. And of course, if the answer is, well, don't worry about the product, just worry about the community and what we're going to be doing. So no, actually, I want to know about the product. What is it? Oh, well, it's not really, we're still working on it and it's not quite there yet, but they're doing it, and we've got the most amazing people in the world that, yeah, okay, fine. Have you seen it? What's your favorite part of the project? Right? And they'll never have an answer. Like, you ask anybody and say, I mean, I don't even know much about Hyper Nation these days, but you ask someone, what's your favorite thing? Like, what's the favorite product or service that you are currently using in Hyper Nation or Hyper whatever it is? And
they sell masks.
Is that it?
Yeah, they got masks. Mr. H has got a nice gold mask. They sell them on their shop. You can buy a mask now. No,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm involved in the conversation, because just want to protect people, and it's horrible, because of course when you end up getting your friends into something like this, you have a real problem, because you can't tell your friends that it's a Ponzi scheme now, because you got them into it. So and you can't get yourself out either. So it's very damaging. It's very damaging. Anyway, sorry, I ran over. I didn't know even if this is the topic of the conversation today or not. But anyway,
No, it's,
No, it is. It is.
we're trying to figure out why people are part of communities and what attracts them to be part of the community. At what point do they stay on the Titanic, even though they know it's sinking, that they don't care anymore? So they just keep going, you know? And we did liken it to religion at one point, where some people believe the biblical stuff and then other people believe the brotherhood or the community. But some people don't need to believe both. So you've got the community and because theoretically, if you looked at the history of all these Ponzi schemes, they've all failed. And now they're on the fourth one, and they've got this amazing community that will be with you until something negative happens. And then they don't want anything to do with you. You know, like the guy did an interview on about Mike Lucas, $25,000 he lost. But theoretically, if the community was that damn wonderful, someone in the community would have said, well, look, I've made millions of dollars out of this. This $25,000 that you've lost has crippled you. It's your retirement fund and you didn't know what you was getting into and you've lost all your money. It's obvious. Someone in the community would gift them $25,000. But that's where it stops. No one's going to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what a lovely community, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd. I mean, the first time I came across it was I was even being asked for what was my advice to help with this. I've spoken to you about this before, Danny, but it was like I was asked for help on how to like build a system, you know, web pages, whatever, to bring more people into the community, into his business, if you like. And I asked, well, what is the bit? Because I never even heard of it before that, right? And you wouldn't give me the name, and you wouldn't describe what it was either, right? And you know, we're on a Zoom call, and I'm like, so tell me what this is. You know, what is this thing? I'd like to give you some ideas, but I need to know what it is. Oh, I can't really tell you. You wouldn't understand without seeing a presentation. Well, try me. I'm quite an experienced business person. I've been in this for a while. Yeah, it's like it's a community. So no, it's not. What's the product? Well, I can't really tell you. It's you know, oh my God, you know, like, and it's alarm bells. And I literally said to him on the call, I said, well, it's really hard for me to give you any advice because it sounds to me, when I hear stuff like this, it sounds a bit more like a pyramid scheme, right? Yeah. Because if you're avoiding the question of even telling me remotely what kind of industry this is in, you know, I'm not just me, but I mean, people you're talking to will find it quite suspicious, right? And it's like always a lifestyle thing and everything else. And you know, and I said, well, I mean, all I can tell you is if you want to go market it, you just market lifestyle. And then, of course, you know, I found out afterwards that indeed it was a Ponzi scheme. It's like, I regret even giving any ideas and, you know, at all. It's, you know, but, you know, the thing is, like, anyone can put pictures of, you know, do selfies of you standing next to sports cars and in you know, nice resorts and stuff like that. Imagine if, you know, it's no different to when a drug dealer does it, right? Yeah. And I was, I'll join my community, right? Look at me, my Bentley, and
I thought of something. We forgot to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Sam Lee is back.
Is he?
Did you not know that?
No.
He's come out of hiding. I've done 2 videos on him already, and he's now. Now this is really funny because he started up a new Ponzi scheme called Stable Deo. Yeah, and he's got 4 billionaires because that would remind me of associated with him who are going to take this to the new level. And it's like I've now figured out that I've done research on all of it already. And it's the weakest, most terrible Ponzi scheme effort I've ever seen. But it was so funny that he's even, I posted somewhere today on a Twitter channel that Sam Lee has got involved in an unprofessional Ponzi scheme, and it's going to hurt his reputation as a professional Ponzi scheme expert because it was that bad. But yeah, it's a real bad one. Stable Deo, it's called. And when you see him on after hiding for 9 months, and now sticking his head out, I just couldn't believe it. Yeah. I'm going to give you guys the video link to watch it later on because I spent a lot of time.
But only send me the link if it's a 6-hour video, though.
No, mate. No, I'm proud of me.
Because I'm not watching any videos of yours which are under 6 hours.
Mate. I did a 5-hour video once. Okay, in one take. No, but it's I'll put it in the description of the chat. No, I think it was about 45 minutes long. I didn't need to take long on that one. 2 reasons.
Cool.
Didn't have much data to go on.
And this Kalpesh, whatever his name is, Patel, has he resurfaced anywhere else?
No, he did write me a great big long message and then he deleted it before I could read it because I asked him if he wanted to talk to my reporter friend from the New York Times. And but I only ever have got a message from Kalpesh Patel when I found out that Keith Williams was the global sales representative, whatever that is. Yeah. And he wrote back and I said, what do you think about this? And he was disgusted with Keith because he's been lying to the community and he doesn't know why he continuously lies to the community because it's not nice to the community. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Have you not looked in the mirror, mate? But anyway.
And is it Bitcoin Rodney that's in New Zealand? Have you ever tried to connect with him?
Oh, he's not in New Zealand. We wouldn't let him in, mate.
Who's the character from New Zealand that's a Uber driver?
Oh, no, he's not even. No, he's not New Zealand. He's talking about Mario.
Is he in New Zealand?
Oh, I love having him on. He lives at home with his mum, and he's an Uber driver.
But is he in New Zealand? Have you tried to connect with him?
We'd be friends by now, mate. We would have hired his Uber by now. I mean, it's the one that we I think the one I had the most fun with was There's Amy. I had no voice, and I'd spent 10 hours researching the lies, and I'd come up with literally 20 different lies. And I think Jason was telling me I should wait until I didn't have a bad husky voice before I did that one, but it was probably my worst video, but my best video because the information was great, but the delivery was very poor. But There's Amy.
Yeah, that was painful. Actually, and that's genuine. The content was awesome, but it was so painful to listen to. I ended up having to stop. It's like, oh no, I really want to listen to this, but I can't.
Well, There's Amy wants to hire me, and he's thanked me for the video because he said that it was it's given him a lot of business. He reckons, and I go, mate, it didn't get that many views, so he's yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I would find the hardest if I was it's all very well having money, but how did you get wealthy, or why does Kalpesh Patel go off promote wewe.Global when he's living in Dubai in an apartment that looks like it's worth 30,000 a week or something stupid,
Yeah.
Any ideas?
And I'm sure it does catch up with you, but yeah,
it's got to, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna wind this up, I think. Now, you realise, Jason, that this is once you've come once, you've got to come next.
You've got to come next week.
Yeah, because if you don't,
no promises.
You no. You will need to build your downline. So if each of us bring 3 people in, you will get 20% of their time.
Okay.
Yeah, and then therefore.
Where do I sign up?
Oh no, mate. Have you got crypto?
What's crypto?
Oh, it's this new currency that's unregulated. Thank goodness for that. It's brilliant. You can use your credit card.
It sounds so. If I bring 3 people in, does it mean I get 2 free people given to me?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do anything you want, mate, as long as you buy a membership first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else you want?
How much? And also, I really need to be reassured that this.
Hold on. This is not financial advice, and it's not an investment opportunity.
Got it. No, totally understood. So the idea is, I want it to be like really, really easy to give you my money, but unbelievably convoluted to get it out.
Exactly. That's what we're offering.
So I put money in, like real money.
Actually, I don't even like talking about the out part. I only like talking about the in part. Like we're more focusing about the money coming in.
No, but I would never take the money out. Obviously, I would never want to, because why would I ever want to leave the community?
Well,
I'm not stupid.
We can give you an
Right.
IOU, so you can
Okay, that's fine.
You can look how much money we've taken off you,
Yeah.
and we'll give you a promise note. And
Okay. It's a promise note that I can then give to Dave, and he'll give me. I'll be able to exchange that for one of his promise notes, right? At 20%, but 20% lower value than the money that I originally put in.
But you don't
Right.
even need,
And then
you just need to take a photo of our promise note, put it on your social media, and spread it everywhere, and just show everyone the promise note, and then you'll just get more and more people coming in.
Is that it?
You can go up a level.
What was that, mate?
Depending on, I said Jason can go up a level if a certain amount of people actually like the photo of your promise note.
We'll make you a sales ambassador.
Yeah,
we'll make you a manager.
Do I get more like I don't know, IOUs just for people thinking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would you like? Because we can just make it happen, mate.
Yeah, I mean, any like magic pieces of paper that I can exchange for Dave Montgomery IOUs.
That's ticking clock, mate. Every minute that you're in this Ponzi scheme, the richer you're getting.
And Jason, are you in the UK or whereabouts are you from?
I'm in the. I am in the UK. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, so next week, this meeting's at a good time for you because it's your morning and fresh to go, and we can pump you up for the week, and you'll be ready to be aware of what you should be looking out for.
But it's not a good time for any.
I need to check. But will I? How much money will I have? No, not money. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Only one question each Zoom, mate.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to have to cut you off.
Yeah, and there's 1,000 people in the overflow room, and if you don't get it, yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry. No, technical questions. We can't take technical questions or any other kind of questions whatsoever that might possibly help you.
We can do laughter. Do you want some laughter? I'll give you some laughter. There you go. Oh, that was good. All right. That was good. All right. That's seriously though, that was just fantastic. But that's kind of just about what it's like in a way, isn't it? Yeah, you can only talk about positive things, and you've got to be deliriously happy all the time. You can't be sad, and you can't have a bad day.
Yeah, I have a question. Yes, but I can only answer it if I'm your upline. Right. Well, you're not my upline. And I can't answer it then.
Yeah. Well, when I got talking to Keith Williams that time, he kept on saying, "Had you invested in Hyperverse?" And so I had to lie and go, "Yes, I had." And then he said, "How much?" And I went for the biggest figure, $14,000, whatever it was. That shut him up until he came up with another question to kick me out. But he couldn't kick me out once I put my money in, and we're live. That was quite funny. Yeah. Oh well. All right, guys. Well, I've enjoyed this. It's quite. I'm not going to keep it going for too long because my we've been going for 62 minutes because my Jason here tells me I'm not allowed to go that long. Is that right?
All right. We'll see.
No, I mean, once you've gone over an hour, once you've gone over an hour, you have to do 4 hours now.
I didn't do that. Imagine that. I'm reading
in for a penny, in for a pound, or in for an hour, in for 4 hours.
I'm reading the white paper. Here it is. Do you want me to read the yellow paper? Do you know what they are?
I'm not sure I want to know.
It's after you've blown your nose on it. They go yellow.
Yeah.
But technically speaking, the white paper is the idea, and the yellow paper is like the architect's structural engineer sign-off. So if we were talking about hibernation, in 2.5 months' time, they are theoretically coming out with the white paper of the Ponzi scheme that they're already selling. So people don't say you don't understand it, but they haven't even come out with a white paper. And then I was listening to Pinnaky Nark the other day, who was telling us he's been reading the white paper that hasn't even come out yet. Because if you listen to the hibernation's presentation, they actually show you a timeline of when things are going to happen, right through to 2025. And one of them is the upcoming white paper announcement. And then 3 months after that, they're going to announce the yellow paper, which is the sign off on the white paper that hasn't been released yet. So that's really weird.
I thought normally you build businesses and things like that off of a white paper, not build a business first and then say you're going to do white paper later to justify your business.
That would be logical. Yeah. No.
And Danny, is anyone actually brought up to say that the NFTs that they were getting people to buy, where they can actually sell these NFTs?
They're not allowed to sell them, mate. Did you not read that?
That's your ticket.
No, you're not allowed to sell them. As soon as you sell them, you get out, because you're not allowed to. Yeah, because the whole purpose of an NFT is to buy something that's worth a whole lot of money and sit on it and then sell it to somebody else for. But these NFTs, you're not allowed to sell them because it's your passport.
Why were people buying multiple NFTs? Was it just to show their commitment and show their the flex?
Yeah. No,
like sometimes I buy a book twice because I want to read it twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the audio version.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was one lady who bought two accidentally and then said she had only buy one.
She wanted a refund.
Yeah. It was $100.
Yeah, I heard that one.
She's been waiting 3 months for that. Yeah, that's pretty weird. All right, guys. I think we've dribbled on enough. Right. We've done it. So if you're watching this, we'll put some music on. This was Jason, Dave, and Dan. You're more than welcome to join us. We're trying to do this once a week. We're just trying to get some people talking. We don't necessarily want it to be a men's club. We are trying to have our own little community. So if you're a beautiful 21-year-old, sorry, I'll get told off. Oops, I'm in trouble. But yeah, anyone's welcome to come back. This week's discussion was about communities. Why do people want to be part of community? What do we need to do to find a good community? You know, we can all do with more friends in our life. Is that why we're all part of community? I don't know. But next week, what can we talk about next week, guys?
Should have prepared for this.
No, that's why I have the takeaway sessions. What did you get out of this meeting that we just had? Jason, speak. Use your words.
Well,
you got COVID. Did you just cough on it?
Yeah, that's right. Well, what's the mission of this channel, generally?
What common interest do we all have? We like Zoom?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, yeah. I think help. I mean, maybe going. I mean, depends if it's going to be anything to do with what we've been discussing today in terms of Ponzi schemes. Really, maybe stripping it back to basics to help people understand how to recognize one in general, not to name any particular one. It's just like the general structure of a Ponzi scheme, right?
And watching my videos lately, have you? I just did a video, 50 plus Ponzi schemes, and I went through them looking for common similarities.
Oh, wow.
In all of them. You know, a membership. Everyone wants you to join to be part of a membership. And then unrealistic return on your investment. Boom. And all of them want you to invest USDT. Any one of those three things. I was watching one of those scammer guys the other day, and he was...
we should say, just while we're at that point, we should say there'll be a link to that video in the description below this recording.
Oh, yeah, with an affiliate thing at the end of it with my name on it. Danny DDD. No, it's very true, actually. Lost my train of thought there, mate. It's just gone now. It's gone. It was really good.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
That was guys just getting on my high horse there. I was starting to get into that. What was the other thing? Unrealistic return on investment, crypto investments. They ask you to use crypto. You're going to get unrealistic return as your investment. You have to be a member, and you're encouraged. They always want you to refer someone. Hey, we could start our own scheme.
And ask them any question about the actual product. They have no clue. It doesn't exist yet.
Oh,
But it's a great idea and it looks amazing.
There's one called Solarium, and they have a product, and it made me laugh. And it's Solarium is a company that has all these solar power panels in the desert, and that's on the cover of their website. And then if you sign up, the guy that's pushing it at the moment, I did a video busting him bad time. And basically, if you sign up, he's put $2,000 in it, and he was showing off that he's getting a passive income return of $150 a week, right? But he failed to highlight the fact that he's put $2,000 in it already. Anyway, when he gets going, he shows about this unit that you can buy, that you can charge up with your solar panels, and then you can take your USB charger with you. So it's a massive one of these, right? And he thinks that's a product. I thought, well, it looks like you can buy them on AliExpress, but multi-level marketing isn't multi-level marketing because we're actually selling a product.
Yeah.
Now started doing that. It's going on full circle. So do you want to buy one of those solar power units?
No.
Why not?
Was it you, Danny, that was saying that the next part of the hypernation, whatever it may be, is going to be where they'll be selling? Yeah, they'll be selling mining machines, or you'll buy into the
Because I reckon this is the whole picture of it all. Is all these Ponzi schemes are funding the crypto miners, because that's what they're doing. They're all trying to mine these coins.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's originally Ryan Jew has ran out of money, so he started up Hyperfund to fund his mining machines, and that's what he's doing. He's just built his coins. Yeah. So now they're getting people to lease a machine to do your own mining, and they're going to share the revenue with you. That's what wewe.Global is all about.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can rent your own. You can rent my iPhone off me if you want, and it will mine for coins, and we'll go halves, and then I never have to buy a cell phone again because you're going to keep funding it.
So, Danny, what about next week if we had it where it's almost as though we take part of what you did at Toastmasters, where it's, hey, each one of us can bring to the table 60 seconds about a scam or about a Ponzi scheme that we've done some homework on during the week, and it may be something. It's almost as though, hey, what's Dave's view of? I've got one Valerian.
It's called What's My Picture, Dave. It's called What's My Picture.
Yeah, and so it's almost so that, and then maybe we also do the rapid fire questions from your business cards, and that may be a good structure to the meeting.
There's 107 of these.
There you go. Yeah. What will the bag give us next week?
Yes, that doesn't sound very PC. Yeah. Oh well, nice to see you in person there, Jason and David. It's been good. It's good night. Now, how do we say good night from him and good night from me if there's three Ronnies?
It's good. It's good morning from us.
Oh yeah, time zone. Good morning. 2 hours. Aussie's 2 hours behind us. Yeah. I'm going to stop. I started work 10 hours ago. I've been going for 12 hours. No wonder I'm a bit flat. All right.
Take care, guys.
Yep. Got to say goodbye. Bye.
Next Monday.
Bye for now.
Bye.
I'll put the music on.